What is up, guys? Anthony Davis here. I finally decided I'm going to do my next PR character profiles, and I'm actually doing a request for a ranger that I actually really like. The request is from Steeliest. I think that's your name. I might get it wrong. I might have said it wrong. Sorry. It's just that's the way how it looks. It says Steeliest. I guess that's probably how it says. He or she wanted me to do Dillon from Power Rangers RPM. Dillon from RPM. Wow, this guy. What can I say? He is one of the best characters in Power Rangers. He has flaws, yes, but overall, I think he's a pretty good character. Note, in this video, there's going to be spoilers, so if you haven't already seen RPM, go check it out. Watch it on Netflix, or if you have it on DVD, check it out. But if you have not seen RPM, do not watch this video. Period. Point blank simple. Dillon from RPM. Okay, when we first see Dillon, he's actually the first character we see in RPM. Not as far as, like, you know, the whole narration of Dr. K, talking about the end of the world and Court City and all that stuff, and, you know, we've already seen, you know, some of the characters already, but he's the first we've seen of the present time. He's very, he's the brooding bad boy of the season. What can I say? He's pretty much simple. He's pretty much, it's you know what you know, like what his character type is, but there's a little bit more complexity to that. Why am I saying this? Because, well, he has robotic implants inside his body, which means that he basically can do stuff that normal humans can't do. The reason why he was like this is because he was captured by Vengeance and was, you know, not reprogrammed to a robot, but he was just basically has parts of being a robot. So basically, he's kind of like a mix between a cyborg and then become an actual, like, what was the word for it? Cyborg and not android. I would say he's not an android. He's more like, he's just a regular cyborg. I guess he's just a cyborg. There's no really, I can really point that out. Sorry, trying to make it sound complex thing. Sorry. With Dillon, he is pretty much the lone wolf. He's, you know, silent type, doesn't really talk that much, but he's a man of action. He does a lot of things where if, you know, you piss him off, he'll kick your ass. Just as simple as that. But he does have a very good bond with Green Ranger Ziggy. When they first met, he can already tell, like, wow, this guy's kind of like a, you know, kind of geeky, kind of, you know, not really you know, not really cool like me, but I'm still gonna keep him around because, you know, he was there for me from the beginning. So yeah, he, you know, tried to help me get to Corinth, you know, before he tried to rob me, of course, but he's okay with that. He's, you know, he was really no threat, so it's like, you know, he could easily just take them down. I mean, there's not really much you can do when you're being robbed at gunpoint by a freaking muffler from a car. I mean, seriously, that's all he had on him, and it was like, wow, that's. Anyway, so they get to Corinth after, you know, Dillon pull off some cool moves with his, you know, badass car and stuff, and they make it to Corinth, and Dillon actually has no memory of who he was, and because his memory was wiped out by, you know, of course, the Vengeance troops and stuff. And it turns out later in the series that he has a sister, which pretty much obvious. If you're living under a rock, you obviously know who his sister is. It's pointed out very obvious in the series who she is and stuff. Tonight 7, and you know, they sometimes have their little fights in some of the episodes and stuff. I mean, you can already tell, like, oh, that's his sister right there. Like, you know, they're always fighting. You know, like that's not too hard to figure out. I mean, come on now. You don't even need spoilers to know that. If you just watch, like, 1-2 episodes with them fighting, or like them two like talking and like things like that, you can already tell like, hey, that's his sister. It's pretty obvious right there. Let's see. He didn't initially want to become a ranger. He more or less just did it so that he can, help people and stuff, like help his, friends and stuff like that. Because that's pretty much how rangers and how rangers, some rangers are. They'll join, but they won't do it because they want to. They do it because they want to help other people. I think some rangers have done that before. Jack from SPD has done that, but we'll get to him at a later time. Let's see. He's the Black Ranger, of course. His Zord is, like the German Shepherd, but it's supposed to be like a wolf, but it's really supposed to be a German Shepherd. That's what it was. And him and Doc K, they sometimes have their moments and stuff where he kind of like, he kind of pisses her off, like, or he pisses her off and she pisses him off and stuff like that. Because at first he kind of didn't really trust Doc K because it was just a computer they were talking to, like, it wasn't like a real person. But then when they found that it actually is a person, he's kind of softening it up a bit. I mean, Dillon's not a really bad guy. He actually does have soft heart, which in the early episodes of RPM, he actually, used up the last bit of water that he had to freaking, let a plant grow and just gave all his water to it. I was like, that was really something that, a lot of PR rangers have done some things like that where they help the environment and stuff like that. But the way he did it was just more genuine and more. It was like a lot more compelling because this is a post-apocalyptic world, and so every little bit of food and shelter that you have, or like every bit of water, counts. So that him giving his water to a plant, that's really something big because, he could use that water for himself. But he was being selfless and gave the water to the plant, which I expect the most out of him. And the thing about Dillon is that he's just cool. That's pretty much all there is to it. He's one of the coolest rangers I've ever seen in my life. I kind of wish they would have given him more, like, at the end of RPM. Like, yes, he did a lot of stuff at the end, but, like, it was kind of, I'm glad that it was unmorphed, because I know most people are like, we want to see you morphed and, fight along with the Rangers and stuff in the final battle, but the thing is, we actually got the actual character, not a suit actor with the voice. Most people are like, oh, we want to see the Rangers for being the Rangers, but in reality, it is like you really want to see the people behind the costumes, because that's what we really watch for. It's the people behind the costumes. That's why people didn't really like episodes like Honey, I Shrunk the Rangers, or things like that, where the Rangers are just wearing the helmets for the whole episode, because we don't see we see the actual characters. We just hear voices with helmets. It's just something similar to that. And his relationship with Scott, they kind of have their moments where they're kind of like have their little rivalry where Dillon will disobey his Scott's authority as being a Red Ranger, and he's just like, do what I say, Dillon, I'm the leader, blah blah blah, and he's like, fuck you, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to. And something is, Dillon actually, he's kind of abandoned his post several times. Like, he just leaves without even questioning anybody. And I can't forget his relationship with Summer. There was a lot of good moments with them where they were, talking and just being close to each other on a relationship level. But the thing about it is that they never got a chance to kiss. They were about to kiss, but the freaking Whalezord. You'll see the episode. When you see the episode with the freaking Whalezord, you'll be like, wow, like they almost kissed. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on. Okay. And let's see, relationship with Dillon, with other characters. Flynn, not so much. He and Flynn had their little moments. Jim and Gemma, he didn't really have moments with them either, but he kind of does like them, he kind of doesn't, because, well, like, you know, they are the two that talk, they include each other's sentences, so it's like, you know, I'm not gonna have no much talk with them. And that's pretty much all I have to say about Dillon. He's a brooding bad boy with a hidden past, and he is very compassionate, but it's very hidden. You have to get to know him a little better for him to, like, open up. And sometimes when his range duties get in the way of him finding out who he was and stuff like that, he sometimes goes to the side and he's like, you know, I'd rather know who I am than worry about completing the mission of being a ranger. Hence the episode where he almost found out about his memories and stuff, but he had to destroy the robot that was carrying them because, you know, it was a threat to the Rangers. So it kind of like goes both ways. It's like, yeah, he wants to know who he is, but he rather, of course, be safe than have his memories back. And so we didn't really get a Ranger Black episode. I wish they did give a Ranger Black episode because, you know, it didn't really give us like a good clear backstory, but he did in a way. But I don't know, it felt incomplete because every Ranger got a backstory except for Jim and Jim, because, you know, they were doing who knows what. Wait, matter of fact, we didn't really get a Ranger Gold or Ranger Silver type episode. Like they could have put them together, but we didn't get one for Dillon or the Silver and Gold Rangers. But I gotta say, the series itself was alright. Dillon will be a character that won't be forgotten, and he's one of the coolest characters I like. So props to Steeliest for actually letting me talk, letting me, you know, do for letting me do, like, you know, give me a topic to talk about with him. I'm still doing requests for Rangers. Remember, it has to be a range. Remember, this is the rules for my Ranger reviews for these characters. It has to be somebody from another season, so which means that since I did RPM, I'm not going to do a review for Scott, Flynn, or any other Power Ranger from RPM. It has to be from another season. It could be from Jungle Fury. It can be from Wild Force. It can be from Mystic Force and like anything like that. Or it could be from Time Force again. You can give me another character from Time Force too. I can do that as well. But if you really want to get full details on what type of reviews I'm doing for these Power Ranger profile characters, check out my Rangercrew forum. It's called Ranger Blue 34 on Rangercrew.com. Check them out. The description box will be below. Check my site. Check the site out, and you'll be able to see my advertisement for our channel. So you'll be able to be like, okay, this is what this channel's about, and you can get to see what I'm about and things like that. I won't be posting any updates on. I'll post a little bit of updates on there, but not as much though. I don't hardly ever use it, but I use it for advertisement now. So check that out. And if you have any more requests for another Ranger you do a profile character on, let me know. This is Andy Davis 65. I'm out. Peace, sayonara, and RPM. Get in gear.